Did you know that if you reply to a lead within the first 5 minutes of them inquiring, they are 21 times more likely to convert into a paid client? The issue is you can't always be awake to reply to them at 2 a.m. when they do inquire. In this video, I'm going to be going through exactly how you can respond to every single lead when they inquire with you, even when you're sleeping. Now, in order to do this, we're going to need a couple of different pieces of software. However, it's not super complicated, and I believe anyone can get this set up. It's actually super simple. So the first one that we're going to use is Go High Level. Go High Level is a marketing software that allows you to automate the messages and emails that are sent from your business. And the other piece of software that we're going to use is called Zapier. And Zapier is essentially just connecting two platforms together. So I want you to think about what you're using for your lead form. Are you using like a type form, a drop form? Are you using just a simple Google form? That's fine as well. I'm going to show you how to connect one of the most common ones, which is type form. So opening up Zapier, once you've got an account and you're set up ready to go, and you've clicked on create a new Zap, you'll be presented with a screen similar to this, where at the top you will have an action, and then at the bottom, you will have what happens next. So this one at the top is considered a trigger, and the next step is triggered off that first one. In simple terms, when a type form entry is submitted, then something is going to happen in Lead Connector, which is Go High Level. So with our type form, we're going to have a new entry. So I've connected my account, and when a new entry is submitted on a form, then it's going to do a certain task. So I've just got here let's find I don't want to use one of these, but let's just go CMS test. This should be fine. So we press continue, and it's going to look for a trigger. Hopefully it has some details that we can use in here. So test trigger, and it's got some information, which is good. And we're going to press continue. And then it's going to take us into the lead connector step, which is basically going to ask us to configure setting up a new contact inside our CRM, which is Go High Level. So what we're going to do is press continue, and then inside first name, if we click on this little plus, it'll give us all of the variables from the type form that we can use and send that information across. So if you think about it like this, inside the type form, there's a question that says, what is your name? Then they fill out the name, but the placeholder of the name always stays the same. It's just the content will change inside it. So we're going to say Matthew Lambourne. We're actually going to put that in the full name section. So we got full name. And all we need then now is phone number. And what we want to do when we're putting this information into the CRM, we want to make sure that we know that it's like a new inquiry. So inside our tags, I'm just going to type in new inquiry. Let's spell it correctly. Inquiry. And do you want to mark this as a lead, which is we just have to select true, and we press continue. And right now we've got our Zap set up. So really simple step, and just to get that information across to the CRM. Now, when we do, we were going to hit test step and we're going to turn that on and it'll run, but that's fine. When we do actually go into the CRM, we need to set up an automation to message our leads whilst we're sleeping. So inside on the left-hand side here, we've got a menu button, which says automation. We're going to click on that one. And once it loads, which it might take a second, cool. Once it loads, we'll be able to create a new workflow. Now, if we click on create workflow and create from scratch or create from template, there's a lot of templates here that you can use to get started. And the exact one that we might want to do here is actually a template that we can run. So you can see here, recipe fast 5 light. What that means is fast like contact within 5 minutes, and it's just a light version of it. So there's a more complex one. So I'm actually just going to use this one for now, because it is good to always start with templates and it's easier to get set up. So let's jump in and have a look of what it's got for us. Now, this looks pretty intense, right? There's a lot of things going on. It's actually not super complicated. So I'm going to step it down for you. As you can see, the trigger up here is very similar to what we had inside Zapier. So we've got a trigger and then we've got an action below it. This one here is saying that it's a Facebook lead form is submitted. We don't want that as our trigger. So we're going to click on the button and we're going to click on the trigger and we're going to click delete, and we're going to press delete again. And we're going to add a new trigger. So our new trigger is going to say when a contact is created with the tag new inquiry, then run this workflow. So workflow trigger, contact created, add filter, And then the filter is contact has tag and equals to new inquiry. So I just created that inside the Zapier, so it's not going to be in here yet. So we're going to have to click on add a new tag, and then we save trigger. Now, this is where it gets going. So this is the part that runs while you're asleep. If we have a look here, there's a conversational email that says, thanks for claiming our offer. We can change any of this copy, that's fine. But it's mainly the SMS that we want to get customized based on your business. So what we can do is we can say, hi, contact first name. And this is a placeholder again for their information that came through. So when you send this information, it will get stored inside the CRM, and then we can reference it with custom variables. So they're just placeholders that will replace the person's name from this part. So what we would want to say is, hi, name, thank you for your inquiry. Thank you for your inquiry. Super excited to get to know you and chat about your goals. And so this is where you would start. Now, your sales process might be a little bit different from how I might set it up. So for example, if you just sell via SMS, you could then jump into the CRM and then start the conversation with them and sell via that SMS. Alternatively, if you use like a WhatsApp, for example, or you had you do sales calls or something like that, you could send your phone number, like your personal phone number, to contact them on WhatsApp, or you can send a booking link to get them scheduled in for a call. All of this stuff down here, whilst it is important, so what it does is it basically waits for 2 minutes, checks to see if they replied, and then is it positive or negative, and does a bunch of different things. But I'm going to back this off for a minute. I'm going to delete it. Can delete all these because I don't think it's as necessary to go through the whole rigmarole of that. So what I would do is wait for 2 minutes. I would probably change this to wait for 5 minutes. And if they don't reply within 5 minutes, I would set an internal notification for you to contact them as soon as you can in the foreseeable future. So I would say to user type, all users, right? Or you could just have your custom phone number. So you could put your phone number in here, whatever your phone number is. And then you could just say new lead. And then you can put in your contact details, full name and phone number of their phone number, so that when you see it, you can get to them as soon as possible. So this would be reply in 5 minutes. So a couple of things to consider with this. It's not just, you don't just jump straight out of into GHL and you don't have a phone number. You do need to pay for these services. So setting up a phone number, if we go into settings and then click on phone numbers, there's two different things I want to speak about. If you're in Australia, this process has one direction. If you're in the States or in the UK, it has a different direction. So the States have A2P verification. Australia has a different type of verification. So depending on where you are at, you have a different process to follow. If you are in the States and you click on phone numbers under the settings, you can go to Trust Center and start registering now, and it'll ask you for a bunch of information. If you're in Australia, you need to go to regulatory bundle and address, and you need to create 2 bundles. You need to create an address bundle first, which is just your business address and your information. Then you need a regulatory bundle, which pretty much just asks for some government documents that show that you're legit. And once you have that information, they will take about 24 hours to approve or deny your number, and you can then start messaging people. I think a phone number is about $15 a month. It's really, really small. And then the usage credits are very small as well. So this is how you can get all of your leads replied to within the first couple of minutes of them inquiring, and it allows you to build leverage in your business without having to think about when you're replying to leads, etc. Anyway, if you want like 13 different ways to improve your business and the systems in your business, then click the link below. I've got a 13-day sequence of emails that's going to give you useful information in order to systemize your business. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll speak to you again soon, I guess.